Hello traders, it's the Crypto Cowboy. We are on the 9th of May coming to you with another edition of Bitcoin Technical Analysis here for the YouTube channel. And I want to thank everybody for subscribing. I think pretty soon we're going to reach here 400 subscribers. So, I'm excited. I'm happy when I see that this channel continues to grow here and people have, more of an interest in looking at the Elliott Wave principle and trying to stick with us and learn a little bit about this, super cool methodology. All right, so with that, let's kind of start looking at the charts here. All right, so I'm going to run you quickly through a couple of, I'm only going to have two counts for you guys today. It's the pink count and the yellow count, and most of my subscribers already know about these, but just kind of following quickly through, we're looking at this as being a fourth wave completion back in December 2018, and since then we've started a larger advance here as part of this fifth wave. We are in the middle of building up this kind of third wave on here. Wave one is done. Wave two was completed back here when we had this nice drop at the middle of March, right towards almost I think we got below $4,000, and then now we're in the middle of building this first wave one up. Will be followed by a second wave, a wave 3, a 4, and a 5 for a third, then a 4, and then another 5 to complete this larger structure. So there is plenty of time here to join and to kind of start moving to the upside. The idea is that we are just beginning to break to the top side. And I wanted to quickly just kind of take you to something that is not, related to the Elliott Wave structure, but basically if you look at the moving averages here, you can see how the 200-week moving averages just kind of supported the price as the markets were trying to develop on here. So we've had very, very nice support for it. We did dip below this back, when we had that major sell-off, but we kind of moved back up here. I think we even closed above it. And the markets are now trying to break to new highs. You can see how the moving averages continue to have this nice and upward slope projection, and we're going to kind of continue to follow this. And then if you go back on a daily chart, we did break above the 200-day moving averages as well. So this is a good indication. A lot of institutional players are watching this longer-term moving averages, especially if they're longer-term players. They want to be on the right side of the market. So the moment the price breaks above the 200, it kind of starts to get everybody's attention. So, we kind of have that working for us. We'll see if the market turns. This should provide a little bit of a support up here at about 8,000. But overall, things are looking good. So kind of going back to the pink count interpretation, this is a 4-day chart. Let's kind of start to dive in. This is an ABC down for the second wave. So if I go back to a daily chart, you'll see the subdivisions on here. And what I have basically is a leading diagonal here as part of a wave 1, and then I have another structure here as part of a 1, 2. So if I jump down even to a 6 hour to see a little bit better, you can see how the price is kind of contained within this channel. So if it's a 1, 2, then we have another 1, 2, and then we have this nice rise up here as part of this third wave. This third wave here could be already completed, guys, because this is a 1, 2. We could have a 3 triangle in 4 and a wave up in 5 for the completed third. We might make just a little bit, maybe another high here if I'm wrong on the subdivisions, but we're very, very close to completion, I think, on this one. Doesn't mean necessarily that the markets needs to be shorted. This thing can continue up. I would continue to look to purchase Bitcoin on the pullbacks. So if a fourth wave is coming up next, continue to look up into this channel as the market comes back. Usually we get support in the area of a wave 4 of a lesser degree. So that would be around 8,600. Remember, we have the moving average, the 200 at about 8,000. So if the market wants to dip all the way up there, that's fine. But we're going to try to see if we can stay contained within this channel. So this channel will give you an indication of where the prices might come, and then we can, once we have a fourth wave, we can project a fifth wave to the top side as well by doing some fib measurements. I have a lesson, I think, on fibs also. If you watch some of my videos, I'll probably try to put a link below so you guys can see what I'm what I mean when I talk about fib projections and extensions and all that for a fifth wave target. But let me take a look, maybe go to a 3 hour and see if we can see some of the subdivisions, guys. So you can see how we're kind of breaking this into pieces. You see this is a, you have like a second wave here, a 1, 2 here with another 1, 2, large move up here in a third wave. Then you have a triangle. in an A, B, C, D, E for the fourth wave, and now we're doing this fifth wave. This could be already completed, guys. It could be just a simple 1, 2, 3, 4, and a very small truncated fifth, and we could be moving lower here as part of this fourth wave. If I'm wrong on the subdivision, and this is a 1, 2, 3, we're doing some kind of a fourth here, we got to break up higher. The trick here is not to get below this 9400. If we get below this, then more than likely this move up here is already complete, because we can't get a fourth wave into the area of wave 1. So we got to think about it either a flat or a possible completed pattern on here, followed by this kind of fourth wave decline. All right, so we did take a nice trade with our members. We entered about 89.50 or something right before this triangle finished, and one of my indications was this 1618. So if you wanted to use the time to your advantage and to kind of know when you're about to start getting a move, either bearish or bullish, pay attention to the time fibs as well. I have a nice lesson on YouTube. I think it's got one of the I have a bunch of videos, but the one about the time fibs, it's got the most views, at least for me. I know many channels have a lot of views, but this one, I think it's got about 5,500 or 5,500 views, which for me it's exciting, because it seems that people are interested in kind of finding out what's going on with the time and the fib. But I'll have a link for that as well, and you guys can check it out. But you can see how we kind of measured the second wave decline on here, from April 18 to April 21st, and then you projected that fib from the end of the wave third, and then that kind of gave us a probability of an ending for the fourth wave, which came at about May 5th. And I've mentioned this into my updates, into our pro room to the guys. I said, hey, I think around May 4th, May 5th, we're probably going to get some kind of a rise up here in price. So, it worked. It doesn't always work, but it works more than doesn't. And it's something that you can always keep in mind, especially. So, this 1618 was pretty nice, and the market turned and started to move higher from there. So we got profits along the way, and the last position we took profits last night up here at about 97.50 or something like that. All right, so now we're kind of flat, and we're looking at the next step and see where we can get into the next trade. All right, so this is kind of the subdivisions on here into the pink count, and we're going to continue to monitor this. A little bit higher maybe for a third wave. I'm going to go back to a daily chart. This can climb, maybe go to a 6 hour here, but this can climb as high as, let's say maybe 12,000 in this first, I'm just kind of looking visually from this wave 1 with this wave 5. I have a 3v1 here at about 100%, 10,425. So this wave 3 will equal this wave 1 at this price projection. All right, on the red count is a little bit more bullish, and it's quite aggressive, but it's a totally valid interpretation. I'm keeping an eye on it just in case the market wants to break to the upside quite aggressively. And that's why, I never suggest shorting in an uptrend. I mean, you can kind of see here, right, from March 12th or whenever this low was set, all the way to, we are in the 9th of May, we continue to move up. So the markets are trending higher, and you want to be on the right side of the market, and that means stay with the trend, stay with the move. So if this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, you can get a pretty big explosion up here in a third of a third of a third. So, I'm watching the subdivision. It's a little bit more like a lottery ticket when you count 1, 2s, 1, 2s, and 1, 2s, but we do have the help of the breakout above the 20-day moving average. And also, I'll take you to the candlestick charts where we've been monitoring this for the whole month of March, for the whole month of April here, to look at getting a bullish engulfing. So this is a good indicator for me that the markets are about to break up higher, and they can do that very aggressively. So this red count interpretation could support and it can kind of guide us forward if we're indeed getting this breakout. Okay, so we're following this bullish engulfing on the candlestick chart. We do have this trend line that needs to be taken out, and hopefully the month of May will give us a nice close up here above the trend line and maybe above this $13,000 level, and then we'll get even more confirmation that we're continuing above 20, 30, 40,000 here with the halving coming. All right, so going back to this red count, pay attention to these counts, and don't be surprised if the markets are breaking higher, because there are counts out there that say that this is extremely possible. And if I go to a smaller time frame here, you can see the subdivisions 1, 2, and then the moves are small, but they continue to grind higher. So, and that's how you kind of get explosions to the top side, by getting this build up of pressure into the price through having a series of 1-2s and 1-2s to the top side. Okay. The next count that I have for you guys is the yellow count, which is more of a triangle interpretation. This is a very, very valid count because it tells us that the Bitcoin, it's been sideways for a long time and it will continue to do so for at least this year, if not also next year. So that means that we finished the wave 3 up, and then we're in the middle of, towards the end of this triangle, because we had a leg A, a B, a C, possible a D completed or still in progress, followed by a E wave, which means that markets are about to return here, maybe towards the middle of this triangle here, maybe around 6,500 and even lower here towards 5,600. So we'll continue to watch. If this turns impulsively to the downside, this will be my next viable interpretation, which we get an A wave, a B, and a C down. And there's plenty of opportunities to trade to the short side once you get confirmation that the markets are continuing to develop into this triangle. And the way you do that is you start watching signs from up here. You want it to get a wave of at least an equal size of this latest move up here. So you would look for a break below this fourth wave at about 8,500, and then you would look for a pullback here in 3 waves, and then you would look to take advantage of a move to the downside here to complete this first initial decline, and then you would look for a correction and then sell again and look for the downside. So there's plenty of times to do a lot of trades and a lot of stuff here. If you know Elliott wave principle and how the moves are developing, this is really, really helpful. I talk a lot about it in my course as well, and I have links below if you guys want to learn a lot about Elliott wave and how to trade, which legs, what patterns. There's all of that. It's in my course, so you're welcome to take a look at that. All right. What else I've got? I think this is about it. I mean, we continue to remain bullish. Just kind of go back to the pink count interpretation, and I'm just going to continue to watch this channel and see how this develops. I mean, a lot of the alts are also being, start to be aggressive. I'm not going to talk in this video about them, but you could see a lot of movement and interest, open interest in here. I think, Paul Tudor Jones, which is a, major hedge fund manager, got into Bitcoin. So, that's good signs. It could be signs of maybe a near-term top on here and maybe a pullback, right? But I know we have the halving in a few days here, so we'll see. Possibly it's better to just wait and be on the sidelines for a few days until things kind of settle down, and we'll see what kind of reactions we get on here. But either way, things are exciting. So if you guys like this video, please subscribe. I'll have a lot more coming, and give me some thumbs up so we can rise in the content. Come and give us a try into the Pro Trading Room. Come and join our super awesome traders on there and trade with us. And I'll see you on the next one. Have a nice rest of the weekend.